All right. Well, as you can tell, I was one of you, and I was one of you, and so now I'm one of myself, kind of thing. And so, good evening. Greetings to BCIT President Kathy Kinloch, members of Board of Governors, members of the two faculties, proud parents, and friends of today's graduates, whether you're here in person or watching the live stream at home or on your smartphone. And of course, greetings to the stars of today's convocation, the happy graduates. The first things I'd like to say, thank you for this honor. Thank you for reaching out 23 years after I graduated from BCIT to ask me to look back and speak about my career. It's as though I was retiring tomorrow or as though I were about to receive one of those Lifetime Achievement Awards that usually signal the end of your lifetime achievements. Thank you for telling me in such a polite Canadian way that it's time for me to go fly fishing, play bingo, or take up Tai Chi. But I'm kidding, of course. This is a real honor for me. Mavis Gallant, the short story writer from Montreal, defines a Canadian as someone with a logical reason to think that he or she may be one. So, well, that's me, a Canadian, a Romanian Canadian to be exact. Today, I'll tell you a story about entrepreneurship and jobs, compasses and education, and the future of computing and health. So I hope that in some way the story of my journey will inspire you to make a difference in the world, just as I hope I made a difference thanks in part to the education I received at BCIT. I'm here to tell you that by graduating in computing science or health sciences, you are in the enviable position of being able to disrupt each other's chosen fields. I say it's an enviable position because any time an established field faces major disruption, huge opportunities result. BCIT has a great reputation for higher education. Students love the hands-on approach, the intensity of the programs, and the set structure. The industry loves BCIT grads, and that's clearly expressed in the 97% of the grads getting hired right after they graduate. Some get even hired right before they actually graduate. As someone who is always looking for ways to challenge the status quo and to make things better, I like to see BCIT encouraging its students and faculty from engineering, business, media, computing, health, environment, and sciences to talk with each other and learn from each other. What if students like Jason and Manjot from computing science could talk with students like Kayla from health sciences? What if students would break down the silos, open the conversation, and connect dots between technology, business, environment, media, and health? You'll be surprised with the outcomes and the impact on our education and our lives. I have seen this happening in other parts of the world. It works. But I digress. I was asked to talk about my career post-BCIT. Maybe I should just say my journey, because the truth is, I don't really have a career. What I have done is to found or co-found a series of technology startups that have made the people around me successful and myself most of the time. Now, you know very well that success means different things to different people. I'd like to share a definition of success by that wise poet who didn't show up to claim his 2016 Nobel Prize in Literature, Bob Dylan. He had this to say: "A man is a success if he gets up in the morning and gets to bed at night, and in between he does what he wants to do." Well, that's what I've done for 23 years since I graduated from BCIT, and for several years before that. I've done what I wanted to do, and I love that. So here's a brief recap of my journey. In 1995, I built one of the first internet-based adventure travel companies in Canada. In 2000, I tried to solve the security and privacy issues for Visa, MasterCard, and American Express. In 2002, I started a fourth company focusing on interactive marketing and online communications. In 2005, I founded Citydaz, a wireless startup, and built an interface for a travel guide on Samsung Personal Digital Assistant You know, the grandfather of smartphones. Some of you probably haven't ever seen a personal, digital assistant. The interface supported location-based coupons, Yelp-like reviews, maps, and even the first iteration of an Uber-like service for cabs. We finished the WOW project a year ahead of Steve Jobs' release of the iPhone in 2007, and 5 years before the official launch of Uber in San Francisco. And we did that right here in British Columbia. So think about that. There's a lot of talent around here. So since 2007, I have led 2 BC industry technology associations and done lots of community work, the volunteer kind, not the court-ordered kind. So, as an offshoot from promoting BC's $4 billion wireless and digital media industry to the world, I saw the need to create Canada's first wireless health accelerator, which 2 years ago became Interface Health, the world's first virtual digital health accelerator. We help startups to go to market, and our mission there is to transform health and healthcare through technology and innovation. I've used the word I a lot here, but the truth is I was never alone. Like they say, it takes a village to raise a child, and it takes a team and a community to make an entrepreneur. Fortunately, BC has an excellent technology, health, and business community. So it's not all that hard to put together a good team if you have a big idea. But what do all those things mean to you? Well, it means that if you keep your minds open, strive for excellence, and always try to play where the puck is going to be, not where the puck is, as Wayne Gretzky did, then you will be in the right position to change the game, to disrupt the world, and make it a better place. What's important for you is to understand who you are, what tools you can use to chart your own success. Think of it as starting out on your professional journey and being offered a choice of either a map or a compass. Which would you take? A map will get you from point A to point B without getting lost, provided that not too much has changed. It's a safe tool. A compass, it's a device that can help you deal with the unpredictable future. It can point you in the right direction, leaving you to use your wits, intuition, and imagination to discover a path from A to B, or to invent a completely new path. It's a smart tool. So I'm not going to tell you which tool to choose, but to let you know your options, map or compass. The reality is you don't know what the future has in store for you, any more than I do. So you will start from this place here today, and who knows where you'll end up 10, 20, or 50 years. Since I was a kid, I always preferred a compass to a map. I was curious about the future and eager to discover new worlds, learn new languages, meet new people, and discover new opportunities. My compass let me do that, and it never failed me. It always got me from A to B, even if it wasn't at all clear that at the outset what A and B were. For instance, in April 2009, my compass steered me to a very large technology conference in Las Vegas. At that conference, I met an inspiring man who was a cardiologist, a geneticist, and a world-class medical researcher. His name was Eric Topol, and he changed the direction and the meaning of my life. Dr. Topol delivered a keynote about the superconvergence of wireless sensors, genomics, big data, cloud computing, video games, social networks, and more. He said that new technologies will change medicine forever and that people will have the power to control their own health for the first time in the history of humanity. And then I thought to myself that if I can help people to live longer, healthier, happier lives, that's worth my time. So my mother, who adopted me when I was a baby and died when I was 14 years old, always wanted me to be a doctor. My father, who was one of the kindest people I ever met in my life, always supported me to think for myself and do good for others. My wonderful parents never graduated high school. I think my parents would have been very proud to see me speak at your graduation. I'm glad that at least my wife and a few friends are here to enjoy the moment. I look at the room in front of me and I see lots of parents who are very proud, of your achievement. So maybe you can give a round of applause right now to your parents. We are now in an era when entire operating systems and entire industries get replaced almost overnight. You may not always see it, but rapid change is also happening in healthcare, even here in BC. Something Dr. Topol calls the creative destruction of medicine. And I would like you to imagine some of these digital health technologies that could make our lives better. So just imagine smartphones that can tell you you are about to have a heart attack days ahead of the actual attack. Smart homes that know if your grandpa suffering of Alzheimer's is going to fall. Computers so smart and fast they can solve complex real-world problems in the blink of an eye using big data and artificial intelligence. Smart clothing that tracks your vital signs to help you with your stress or sleep. Video games and virtual reality therapies that can treat mental health, addictions, pain, phobias, obesity, PTSD, and even autism. Genomics and nanotechnologies that can fix your broken DNA or deliver targeted drugs to very specific cancer cells. New foods modified to actively fight diseases, promote good health, and foster longevity. 3D printing a new heart, lung, kidney, liver, or bladder from your own stem cells to help you live longer. Compassionate social networks for patients to help them cope with difficult health issues like chronic diseases or loneliness. Wouldn't those be amazing? Well, you don't have to imagine those things because they are already here to help you, your aging parents, and the children you'll one day have. BCIT has empowered you with the knowledge and skills you need to work in your chosen professions. But keep in mind that those occupations may not exist or need you in 10 years. Roughly, half of our existing large companies could disappear by as soon as 2025. 10 years ago, we didn't have Facebook, Twitter, or Brexit. 10 years ago, we didn't have Denmark shutting down 9 out of 10 hospitals in a region twice the size of Greater Vancouver to focus on better community care at home, not in the hospital. The good news is that you, computer science and health science graduates, are the ones who will be driving the changes in technology, innovation, and healthcare in British Columbia for the next 20 to 50 years. So you are in the right place at the right time. And timing in life, as I learned as an entrepreneur, it's everything. I realize that by tomorrow, or by the time you reach your car in the parking lot, you may not remember a single word of mine, but I hope that at least you remember the word compass and this memorable quote by Steve Jobs. You can't know where life will take you. Just commit to a direction and keep going. Keep going and don't stop. It will be worth it. End of quote. So thank you, good luck, and see you in a faster future.